record. Hey guys, CJ with Astronomy. Welcome back. Let's see what's going on in this video. Well, we're gonna do a follow-up on the Radian Raptor, which has actually garnered quite a few views and it's done rather well so far on the new channel. Of course, any equipment reviews always post very, very big. So this is kind of more of a where do I stand now kind of video. Overall, it's fine. It works perfectly well. It probably works just as well as what the Sharpstar would do, or an Explore Scientific, or it doesn't matter. They're all the same. I think they're pretty much all using the same glass manufacturers anyway. It's just, form and color, which is being changed, and they may have some little tweaks here and there, right? So, is it a good scope? Yes, it's a good scope. For the price point, it's perfectly comparable to anything else that's out there. Unless there's a Takahashi, which, the lenses were polished by monks in ancient China. Sorry, I just can't see spending, tens of thousands of dollars or whatever it costs. It's just stupid to me. Anyway, I digress. So, yeah, overall, I mean, it works fine. I just published the Heart Nebula on the last video, which you saw in the video. If you want to see the actual copy, the JPEG that was uploaded, you can go to telescopius.com, which is where I load all of my astro imaging photos. I was using Astrobin. Sure, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with Astrobin, but Telescopius is free, and I'm all about free, right? I'm all about saving a buck, and though it was only like, I don't know, what, 10, 15 bucks a year or whatever it is, I just went to Telescopius. Besides, Telescopius kind of covers two different, actually it covers quite a lot of different things. Number one, it's a place to upload your photos. Number two, it's got a great mosaic program that you can download into Nina now. I don't know if you all knew about that or not, but you can actually import your observing list into Nina from Telescopius. So that's kind of cool. There's some other little features and stuff in there that I haven't had a chance to play with yet. But to me, that's the biggest thing. And that gives a great listing of what's in the sky tonight. You can even look up photos. You can kind of compare what you're doing versus what other people are doing. And of course, there's, a huge bin of photos. So free plug, Telescopius. You can go there if you want to see my photos, which is under Roswell Astronomy. Not Georgia Astronomy, but Roswell Astronomy. I know, it's confusing. I'm sorry. So back to the Radian. In theory, that was a great idea. In theory, the little filter vault, where you can put your filter in and then attach it to the camera and then put it onto the telescope. So, idea, awesome. Sharpstar has the same thing apparently. As a matter of fact, everything about it is identical to the Sharpstar with the change of the color as well as just the overall mounting design. So the Sharpstar's kind of got that foot versus they've got the nice little rings. So paint and rings. It's the only difference from everybody I've heard from, including somebody who owns both. Not much of a difference. So, if you don't care about color and you're not, giving, whatever about the rings, then by all means, get the Sharpstar 61. I gotta admit, it looks good. So, even though I'm not a slave to fashion, obviously, from what you're seeing here, it looks good to me. I don't know if it was worth a couple of hundred extra, but it was. All right, I'm sorry. I keep getting off the topic. So the filter drawer. Again, great concept. I think it would have a lot of potential in some different areas if it was expanded upon. If you're a one-shot color user and you're only going to be using a filter occasionally, I would think probably the most commonly used filter you would use on this would be like a light pollution filter. If you're using a L-Enhance or a Triad or a Duo or anything like that, again, with one-shot color, that's perfect. Thread it in there. You're not going to be changing it out every day. If you're a mono user, it's a different story. And while I think I said before, and you're only going to be using one filter a night anyway, that's true. Very rarely do I switch between filters throughout the evening. Doesn't say it doesn't happen, because there actually was a case before I went to Deer Lake where I had finished up my H-alpha data in the middle of the night. I wanted to switch over to O3, But then in order to do that, I had to dismantle the telescope. So I had to unplug all the wires, I had to pull the camera off, I had to pull the filter drawer out, had to replace the filter, put it all back together, get everything back in, plug everything back up, restart everything in Nina. So it was about an hour-long process to get everything running again. And by then, it really wasn't worth it because some clouds started rolling in, which kind of threw the night off anyway. So I basically lost an hour of time just trading out the filter wheel, or trading out the filter in the filter vault. So what I'm doing as a result of that is actually changing up and going to a filter wheel. I ordered new 1.25" filters last night from High Point for the LRGB set for Astronomic's Deep Sky. So I got that set, and then also ordered the I can't remember if it was Optolong or Bader's now, but it could have been Astronomics. Crap, I don't remember. Anyway, so filters are on order. I could not find a filter wheel from High Point. Wound up going to OPT, was able to get the 7-position filter wheel, or maybe it was the 8-position filter wheel. I buy late at night and I don't remember the next morning, so I should probably check my phone and see what I ordered. So yeah, filter drawer, sorry. Again, great concept. One-shot color users, you're good. Mono users, just don't waste your time. Don't even bother wasting your time. Just go with a filter wheel. A couple of other things, I brought up about which actually some people had asked me about, one of which was the dovetail. The original dovetail is about half that length. It's, I think, like 6 inch. And it was way too short. And so I wound up having to go out and buy another dovetail, which I actually got this off of Amazon. I can't remember if it was Zavoni or... but I got a new one of these in order to be able to slide back and forth in order to balance out my weight. So since I'm actually getting the filter wheel to put on there, which is going to add a little bit more weight to the ass end of the scope, I had to get a longer one. So I've got the Lismondi dovetail 11 inch. Please don't let your kids watch me. So I got the Lismondi 11 inch on there, and again, that is to be able to slide forward or back to adjust the weight of the complete OTA with the camera and the filter wheel front or back. So it's going to be kind of an interesting design. Already, I have to keep the focuser rotated to the top because it does interfere with the dovetail on the bottom. So, speaking of, how is this working? How is the focuser working out? It's working out just fine. There's no issues with it. Coming to find out, it's just an Optech focuser that's been private labeled from what I'm understanding. Again, I don't know what that tuned to it was or what any of that meant. It works fine. The one thing that I still like about this is the dew shield still has some resistance to it, which is nice. I've had some where you just turn the scope up and all of a sudden the dew shield slides back. So the times when that gets annoying is when you're doing a meridian flip and you can, if you're outside, you hear the dew shield, doing that sound when it rolls back. So I'm glad to see that there's still some stiction to that. It's not perfect, but there's good stiction there, so I'm happy with that. I mean, overall, the Radian's a good scope. It's a little overpriced, but if it's about color and if it's about those rings, buy it. It's fine. I don't see any problem with that. Again, if you're willing to buy the little extra, then get what you want. If you're very cost sensitive about it, the Sharp Star is probably a little bit better to look at, especially if you're tight on the budget. Which at that point, yeah, absolutely, get what you need, get what you want. Don't worry about the rest. What else? My God, I think that's it. Yay, we're done.